Hey everybody, Scott here, out in the Big Cypress National Preserve. I'm out on the Deep Lake Trail. This is a trail, obviously, that is on the western side of the Big Cypress National Preserve, right off of Route 29, south of I-75, north of the Tamiami Trail. And the trail takes you down to one of the deepest lakes, but definitely the deepest lake south of Lake Okeechobee. It's actually a sinkhole, and it's almost 100 feet deep. So I'm going to keep heading down the trail, and if I see something interesting, I'll take a video. Well, here we are on the trail. As you can see, there's tons of palms out here. These are royal palms. Usually I don't see these when I'm out hiking in Florida, but I think they're native to Cuba, but they are all over Florida, but mostly in developments or nurseries. You don't see them in the wild too often. And it looks like this might be a mango tree too. So it's possible that some birds dropped some seeds here, or maybe there was a grove at some time, but there's a couple of mango trees here. You can actually see some green mangoes up there. But here we are on the trail, and I do see a lot of royal palms everywhere I look. There's a big one, real tall, probably about 70 feet high. They live for a long time, and they're very majestic looking. You see them in a lot of long driveways to ritzy developments or upscale developments. Other than that, it's the typical Big Cypress flora that you see. A lot of sable palms, a lot of ferns. Really beautiful. A little bit of everything. You can see a tree right there. It looks like it had an accident with another tree. It actually grew around it. You can see the dent right there. It's a royal palm. It hit a branch on the other tree, and it actually created a big dent. Amazing. All right, well, you can see the trail ahead. I'm going to keep moving down toward Deep Lake. One thing I forgot to mention is you're seeing a lot of oaks in here also, because basically this is a hammock, a hardwood hammock. And again, there's your sable palms, there's your oaks. Here's another royal palm coming up, a young one. It's been shaded, so maybe that's why it hasn't grown, but there's a much larger one right there. So this is what you see usually in a tropical hardwood hammock. But there's tons of royal palms in here, which is really amazing to me. I've never seen this many. Just wondering how they all got here. All right, we're going to keep on going down the trail. Now we're getting into what must be a wetter area. I can see the trail descending to a lower spot. And the reason you can tell right away is if you look at the trees around you, how they've changed. Back where we came from, where it was drier and higher, there was none of these trees. Basically, a huge bald cypress, probably about 100 feet high. It hasn't gotten huge at the bottom, like I've seen some of them, but it is very tall. Maybe because there's a lot of other trees in here, and it's looking for sunlight. But it is a more shaded area than I was in. Here's another cypress over here. And you're going to see more trees in this area that like to be wet. So let's continue on down and see what happens. Well, it looks like we've made it. Coming up to Deep Lake, which you can probably see in the distance. I gotta watch where I'm walking here so I don't fall down. But It looks very beautiful. But this is actually a sinkhole. You can see how perfectly round it is. And there's fish jumping. I'm looking for gators. But right away what I see, for those of you who have aquariums at home, you'll probably recognize these fish. If you look down in the water, hopefully my phone is picking this up. But there are literally probably 100 plecostomus, which are the sucker fish that they clean off the glass in your aquarium. There's probably 100 of them here. It's amazing. I've never seen it. I've seen these fish in canals near my house in South Florida because they were from South America and they were brought in by someone and released, and they've really taken off. How they got in here, I don't know. I guess the same way somebody probably put them in here. But man, there's a ton of them in here. It's amazing. There's some Mayan cichlids also with stripes. But here's Deep Lake. Here on Deep Lake, you will find gators. Sometimes a lot, sometimes not that many. Today we have one. I think he's about 8 foot. Hopefully you can see him. I'm using my camera phone and it doesn't have a zoom lens or anything like that, but you might be able to see his head right there because he's sitting about 100 feet away from me. But there's tons of fish in here. Lots of tilapia, bass, Mayan cichlids, plecostomus, you name it. Even tarpon are in here. So beautiful little lake, actually a sinkhole. There's many tilapia here. There's a whole school, probably several hundred right here. Smaller tilapia. There's Mayan cichlids. And again, a lot of the plecostomus or the sucker fishes. They're all over the place in this this lake or this sinkhole. It's amazing. Not too many gators. I've only seen a couple, but that the number of the gators fluctuates, I guess, with the season. But there are plenty of fish here, so smart gator's not going to go hungry.